I have long talked about how I feel the mainline Pokemon games are on the decline. How every game seemed to simplify more and more features that honestly never needed it. How the experience of the newer regions felt lesser and more incomplete than anything from Generation 1 to 5. Not to say the newer games were outright bad, but something was missing. With Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, however, it is with utmost joy I can say I have found that something. Once again. This is Area Zero, the final part of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. This place is distinct and tonally completely different from anything else in Pokemon so far. The atmosphere, the exploration and presentation, even the music to an extent. It clashes with what Pokemon normally is. A story where you alone as the player rises to the top. And while all games feature you meeting friends along the way, it always ends with you at the top. Area Zero instead focuses on a core group of friends that on the outside doesn't fit at all together. Depending on which version of the game you picked, the area is inhabited by either ancient or futuristic metal Pokemon. And while that's nice and all, going by the vibe of the environment, I feel the ancient Pokemon fit better. As you might be wondering by now, what do I mean by saying modern Pokemon done right? Well, the short of it is, Area Zero represents a desire to do more for the first time in a long while with Pokemon. Don't get me wrong, the whole of Scarlet and Violet is a bold new step for the franchise. It's just that Area Zero itself makes up the majority of the new direction. So what makes this area special then? Well, it all starts with the fact that you and your friends all explore and work together to dive deeper into the unknown world that is Area Zero. It's so weird having a full party of people traveling together, fighting together, and even sharing dialogue while walking around. It's such a weird feeling coming from one of the older games into this of all things. It leans much more into anime territory, or in a sense, it does what every other JRPG does these days. The whole area is built upon levels, top level being more open nature, second being caves, and the bottom level being crystal caverns. At the very bottom is a lab central to the story and the climax of the game. Area Zero is much more than the partner fights ever were in the older games due to the whole party aspect of it. And it's a basic RPG thing, right? Having someone to team up with throughout the story of a game. In the older games, it wasn't like that. More often than not, you had moments like at the top of Spear Pillar where Barry runs up, fights with you, and then straight up leaves. And it might just be me, but that just feels weird and kinda ruins the immersion factor a little. So with Area Zero now leaning into this whole thing of a party going on the adventure together is a very welcome addition. For once, it's not just about you, it's about all of you to say the least. And speaking of anime, it just hit me that this whole party setup is a lot like the Pokemon anime itself. I mean, how fun would it be if Ash was the only mainstay character of the anime? That's how the past Pokemon games have always felt for me. Now let's slow down here. I want to make it clear that Area Zero is not perfect or anything near it in fact. For one, you can only battle with the party members in scripted battles, and during the climax, it falls back to you alone saving the day while the other party members just cheer you on. And above that, Area Zero isn't that long of an area. Now I play games very slowly for the most part, but if you're like most players, then the whole thing should take around 1.5 to 2-ish hours. What I'll say is that it is a step in the right direction. As a person who has played every single mainline game, I appreciated the different things a lot more than someone who had Scarlet and Violet as their first games in the series. Let yourself imagine a whole new mainline game like this. A party of maybe 4 people traveling across the lands, getting tangled up in trouble and dangers along the way, each with a different goal in mind, tackling challenges and sharing the joy of victory together. Now, if your mind ended up with the Pokemon anime as mine did, then we might just be more alike than you thought. I desperately want to see a bigger emphasis on characters like this in a future game. And while being more linear than what we have now with Scarlet and Violet might turn some people off, I think the overall experience would be better. And you know, that's my opinion. Feel free to share yours below. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.